Welcome back to the next little K-9 Schnauzer. Today I got a real treat for you. Well, actually, it's going to be a treat for Macy, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Hey guys, real quick, the ingredients are listed here. I'm going to go over them real quick before we get into how to make it, okay? We use a good quality kibble. This is Blue Buffalo, the best in our opinion. We don't give this a lot to our K-9. We do give her treats. When we're training her, we'll take 3 or 4 and we dole them out that way as treats. We don't feed this to her as a meal. We're going to do 1 cup of that. We're going to do 1 cup of oatmeal. And then we're going to use 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, and that's going to pay out huge dividends later on as your K-9 progresses in age. Okay, I've already gone over the rubber silicone molds, but one of the other ingredients to this is going to be 2 bags of baby spinach. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the baby spinach in this bowl. We're going to take our ingredients, we're going to put them in this bowl, and then we're going to use the Ninja to mince everything down with the peanut butter. Okay, and then we're going to smear that mixture into these molds. In just a moment, let me get caught up and we're going to bring the video back in just a hot second. Hey guys, welcome back. So one of the important steps that you're going to need to do is to take the dry kibble and the oats and just stick them in the Ninja, whatever you have to reduce that down. Just it gets peppered. That's going to be very, very important. What we're going to do is we're going to take 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric. And we're going to just dump it in, spread it out a little bit. We're going to take our dry kibble and we're going to also add that in. The most important thing is on the peanut butter, make sure that when you look at the ingredients, make sure that the peanut butter does not contain xylitol. That can be very harmful to your K-9. Make sure of it. It's very important. Once we get the contents into a bowl, it's going to have a consistency of something like this. Okay? Now, the peanut butter, since I'm making these molds, the peanut butter is going to be a guesstimate. What you're using the peanut butter for is not only just the flavor, the taste, but it's also sort of a bonding agent that helps bond this material into place. So what we're going to do is we're going to guesstimate approximately how much we're going to need. It's going to be a good bit, but there you go. You're not going to really have to weigh it. All right, you're just going to dump it in there, just like so. All right, and my advice to you is to get you some sort of a mixer. That's going to make this process so much smoother, literally. And we're going to mix this in together with our KitchenAid mixer. And when I come back, I'm just going to pause a moment just to get caught up. But when we come back, I'm going to show you what the consistency is supposed to look like, and we're going to apply that to these rubber mats, these silicone mats. The importance of having this tray here is not so that I don't make a mess, because that's inevitable. I'm probably going to make a mess. The thing is that once these molds have been completed, they are going to go into this tray, and we're going to dump them immediately into the freezer. We need to flash cool these as quickly as possible. That's the magic. And we're going to store them in the freezer. So in just a second, I'm going to bring the video back in and we're going to wrap this up. Hey guys, welcome back. So let me give you a little overview of what consistency you're looking for. This stuff is packed with superfoods. It is packed with all kinds of goodness for your K-9. So that's kind of the consistency that you're looking for. There's no easy way to say this. Once you get to this stage, you're going to have to get a little messy. So I'm going to go over the first mat with you so you get the concept, the idea of what you're trying to achieve with this. But the other thing is once you're done with this process, you're going to flash freeze them for probably a couple of hours. And because we keep a real close eye on Macy's diet, we don't give her a whole bone. We don't give her a whole paw. What we do is when they come out, you can flip them right out of the molds, and then we divide them up into smaller portions. But that's kind of the concept that you want, okay? So I'm gonna kick those to the side just for a hot second, and we're gonna get into actually doing some molds together, okay? So the best thing to do is you gotta get you some sort of a pan, or you're gonna make a mess. So it's easier if you do the pan. And you're just going to smear it on. You're going to make kind of a mess. Any of the excess, you're just going to transfer to the new mat. So there's no real science to it. You're just trying to get it in the mold. In just a second, you'll concentrate more on getting it cleaned up. You want it to be as organized as you can get it. You're going to push it down in the mold a wee bit. And you're just going to keep going. That peanut butter, as it sits out at room temperature, is going to start becoming more fluid. So it'll become easier to get it in the mold. And we are almost there, guys. Hold on. All right, clean up some of the excess. And one of my favorite weapons to doing this activity here to get it is to find you something smooth and just smear it across. Okay? Something a little bit like that. That's kind of what we're wanting to achieve with this look. In just a second, I'm going to pause the video, and when I come back in, I'm going to show you the results of all these trays being made up and ready to go into the freezer. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Now that we've gotten the molds formed, this is about what you're shooting for. You got to remember that when you dump these out after they've been in the freezer for a couple hours, they're going to look perfect, okay? And it's not going to be an issue having to pop them out. The one thing that I would make mention to you is that just a little bit of dusting of some flour is going to make all the difference when they come out of the molds. They're going to come out frozen, and you don't want them sticking onto each other. As soon as they come out of the freezer, they're going to start getting to room temperature, and that's when you're going to be aggravated a little bit with this process. But if you dust them a little bit of flour, and it's not got to be pretty, just enough to keep them from sticking. Here we go, we're getting there. And that's about what you're looking for right there. Remember, it takes about 3 hours for them to completely freeze, and then you're going to pop them out. This is what we dump them all in, and we keep this in the freezer as well. This is the cookie jar for the K-9, if you will. The other thing is our cone that we've packed with about that much kibble, and then any of the leftovers during this process, we pack it to the top, okay, and then smear it. And we also throw this in the freezer, and this is more of a rainy day treat for Macy. And there you go. That's it. That's how you make these treats. And remember that this is about what the consistency is going to look like once you're done with it. Guys, I'd like to thank you for stopping by the channel, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.